Good evening, everybody. My name is Lewis Lee, and this is Planning Traffic. As always, we do this every Thursday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. So please share and tell your friends all about us. We talk about cars, boats, trucks, and anything you put gas in. What's up, Ray?
Lewis, I'm glad to be here again. Of course, I'm Lewis Lee's younger, ugly brother, and he lets me come in and play once in a while when they let me out of the cage. So tonight's one of those nights. So
Ray, love to have you.
yeah, I love being here. Just skirting out through the raindrops, and I feel like I'm living in London over here these days. Can't get anything done outside when it's raining.
Yeah, we need a garage like Tyler because he can work at any weather.
Absolutely. And I was at the shop. I was working at the shop this week, and I just don't like being there when it's raining because it's damp inside. It's like cars come in and out. The floor gets wet. It's like it's not really. I'm getting crotchety in my old age, is what it is. I'm getting like I'm becoming that guy.
Getting bougie.
Yeah. It's like I don't want to work here. It's too humid. It's too hot. It's too wet. But
I hear you.
Yeah.
So first off, our special guest is running a little late. He's at the airport picking up some folks for his show, and it's Autorama Canada or Autorama Toronto, Canada. Canadian, as Lou would say. But so he's going to try to get on if he can get out of the airport.
Okay.
And what else? This is the show that I go to in Canada every year.
Okay.
I haven't been in the last couple of years though, but really nice show. Always good people there. People that run it, good staff. Greg's great. He runs the whole thing.
What part of Canada is the show in?
Toronto.
Oh, Toronto. Okay, because the Autorama's going on now, right? In Detroit, I think.
Yeah, Detroit. Well, actually, I think it was last week, and then this week is Toronto.
I know Justin was saying he was going down there with the shop with American Gasser.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool, man. I mean, just to be able to say I know somebody who's going with his shop is bringing cars to Autorama. I've never been able to say that before.
Yeah. Dave Kingdig won the Riddler.
Right. Yes, I heard that. Yeah.
Oh, did you see the car?
I didn't see the event, so I don't know. What car was it?
I think it might be a Thunderbird. No, is it Thunderbird?
I was at the Corvette Society meeting the other night, and the guys were talking about it. They were buzzing about it, but they might have said what kind of car it was, and I don't remember. Because then it ends up that one of the guys that was at the meeting, I've been to his shop. It's a fellow who's got a local shop here on Long Island, and he actually has 2 Kindig cars.
Oh, really?
And I saw them at his shop. So now everybody said, whoa, this guy has a Kindig car. So now everybody's asking him questions. And there's another fellow there. You love this guy, Tony. Let me be politically and racially incorrect here.
All
but
right.
You'll understand what I'm talking about. Tony is a black fella, black dude, about 5'9". Let me tell you something. My wife even said, it's like, damn, if I saw him, I'd walk on the other side of the street. Because Tony is like stocky like a fire plug. He always wears black head to toe, black stocking cap, the whole 9 yards. I mean, looks like he's ready to rob a store. I said to him, dude, you're not helping you. And he's a sweetheart. The guy is the sweetheartest, biggest teddy bear in the world. I said, dude, you're not helping your image, Eddie. He goes, yeah, I know, but fuck, this is the way I like to dress. I'm like, hey, man, have at it. I'm just saying. But so Tony, I went to an event at his shop a few weeks ago, and he builds some awesome cars. He's got I think it's a 54 Corvette that he put a late model powertrain in and resto modded it. And he did a great job on that one. So he heard that this guy Caesar has the Kindig car. Look, he gave me a look like, wow, really? So I said to him, yeah, Tony, I said, you got to come see this car. I said, he'll come to the shop. And this is my assessment of the car. There wasn't anything out of place, and every gap and every detail and corner was just perfect. I mean, I've never seen such a nice car.
Yeah.
And so I was asking this guy, Caesar, I said, so what's it like dealing with Kindig? And he says, well, this is the thing. You meet with them, you tell them what you want to do, you work out all the details. He says, and you leave the car, obviously. He says, and then you'll get updates, you'll get emails and updates and pictures. And he says, you'll get a bill like once a month, and you just send them however many thousands of dollars they want, and you do that every month.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the bill could be, fit, installed, removed 5 times, reinstalled, and fit and finish right front fender, 700 hours, or whatever, however many thousands of dollars that is. And he goes, yeah, and you just pay it. So he says, basically, if you're in it, if you're watching your bank account, you're not going to have one of these cars, because you can't do it on a budget. So, but on the other hand, the finished product, I was in awe. I've seen a lot of cars in my life and a lot of show cars, and nothing like that. I really have never seen that quality of work. It's
next level. It really is.
But then I'll tell you the truth. What he said was he had some minor issues with the car. He sent it back. So he paid to ship back and said, hey, you guys fix it. I paid you a lot of money. You fix it. Where things that he would have normally done himself is like, no. Now they own it pretty much.
Yeah.
I can
He's
see
a good dude, though. I mean, I sat and talked to him, and anytime I sit down with these guys, I ask a lot of questions. You know what I mean? Because I want to see what's in their mind. You know what I mean? So, he was saying that before he starts a car, it's just the parts is $250,000.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I don't doubt it. And then, it's really all that labor, all that hand done labor that's to fit and finish and make everything work. And, that's where your big money is.
Yeah. And it's very detailed. It's not like they go buy, a part and put it on. They craft that part.
Right.
And then make it fit. I've seen one of his cars and like the grill, they put like these bullets in the grill, but it was like a whole bunch of them. Like it had to take them forever to do, each piece.
Right.
It's like really detailed work.
I didn't take any pictures when I was there. I was only at the shop that one time, and I kind of felt a little funny. But now that I know the guy, next time I will get some pictures. I told you about it on the show. It was funny because I went there with 2 of my buddies who know him very well. And the one buddy was telling me, hey, you know what? You just did that sniper install. Caesar, he's got a couple sniper installs. He's just done 4 of them. And I know he has a couple questions about it. Some things didn't work out right. So when I went in there, I'd done a ton of research on what I did.
Mm-hmm.
So my buddy Cliff said, hey, Caesar, talk to Ray. He knows about some. Oh, really? He goes, I got one of them. He goes, I have one here in a 65 Impala I did for my dad. That one's perfect. The other 3 I got troubles with. So we started talking about it. And it was kind of funny. At the end of the day, I thought I was going to walk out of there with a whole nother package of knowledge. And what happened was I ended up telling him what I knew. There was a lot of stuff that he did and did wrong because he didn't research it correctly.
Right.
And the guy who was doing it with him, his mechanic, didn't. So on that particular day, I was able to share more than I learned. I was hoping to come back with more knowledge, but
you're the teacher.
Yeah, and he was kind of surprised. He was like, "Wow." He goes, how do you know all this stuff? How many of these have you done? I was like, 1. I'm like, yeah, 1, but it was 1. I said I researched it for a long time, and as I was doing it, I'm researching it and talking to people and talking to anybody I know who's worked on it, calling Holly, talking to them. And the funny thing was, he didn't have some of the basic. I know Brian and I talked about this at length. He didn't have some of the basic knowledge. Like he was complaining how the on the controller, these were in a couple of older Mustangs that he had. The coolant temp sensor, it was reading like 80 something degrees, and we're in a garage that was maybe 50 degrees. And I said, well, Riz, you got a bad coolant temp sensor. I said, this is what I learned from watching a couple of videos from a guy out in California who did it. The temp sensor's out of spec, and he said he bought he published the numbers for GM part numbers for the different sensors and maybe some aftermarket numbers like standard and whatever. I said he went and bought a GM sensor and problem solved. So he says, wow. He goes, where is that? So I showed him under the hood. He's got a small block Ford. So I'm like, right there, right in the front. See that thing right there with the 2-wire? See, that's the temp sensor. And he was, and I'm not speaking badly of the guy, really. I'm not. It's just that he didn't know because he wasn't the guy doing the work. He's the boss, So he said, well, how did he put that sensor in there? I'm like, well, you unscrew that one and you screw the. I said, and by the way, the one you got in there is wrong. I said, I see Teflon tape on the sensor. I said, you're not supposed to have Teflon tape on a temperature sensor because it grounds through the body. The Teflon tape can actually insulate it. So, I explained to him, you take that one out, you put the new one in. I said, you can just unplug it, plug it into the new sensor and check the reading. You don't even have to install it. But he was like looking at me weird. He goes, no, I don't get it. How can that fit? How can it go in? I'm like, what do you mean? How can it go in? He goes, you said it's a GM sensor, but this is a Ford. And I said, okay, now here's where you're talking to a guy and you got two choices. You could either call him an idiot, and motherfucker, or, I tend to take the high road, and I realized what the wire was crossed in his head. So I said, no, the GM sensor doesn't matter. It's pipe thread. So the sensor doesn't care what engine it's in. Like a spark plug. It doesn't care if you put a Fomoco spark plug in a Chevy or a Champion in a Ford. I said, it's just a pipe threaded sensor. So the threads are the same in any engine. And he was like, oh, okay. I got it. I was like, so just order yourself a new sensor and that problem is going to be solved. So, it was, he was just a little behind on some of the basic stuff, but it's, but he does some nice work himself. The cars that he buys and sells, he primarily buys and sells, and he actually rents space. He'll rent you. He's got all up and down lifts in his building, so you can store a car there, or it's all climate controlled and whole bit. So
nice. So that King Dick car is a 53 Corvette.
No, the 53 Corvette is Tony's car.
Oh, is it?
Tony's got a 53 or a 54 Vet, and he has another car that was like a GM. They said the name of it at the meeting. It was like a Corvair, but it was like a Chevy, like a prototype vehicle back in the 60s. And I haven't seen it. I've seen pictures of it in on the internet or whatever, but it's a fastback. And maybe they called it a Corvair. I don't know. I haven't seen that one, but no, his car is an early model, an early Vet, and he's got other cars too. He's got a pickup truck. He's got a 67 Chevelle, all just top shelf stuff. He just did a resto on a 64 GTO for a guy. That's why we went to his shop to see how that worked out. And we were talking the other night, and he was like, "Hey, dude," he goes, he goes, I'm having trouble keeping people. He goes, you may have to come over. He goes, I may have to put you to work. I'm like, hey, I'll come work for you. No problem, man. I can do that. I'm a what do you call it? What do you call it when you're independent? Independent player. There's a name for that. I don't know.
Contractor or
yeah, I like that. He's got himself. I think it's I don't know how many. It's a couple thousand square feet, maybe 2,500 to 3,000 square feet. It's a one of those industrial garages. He doesn't call it a shop. He calls it a man cave. He goes, this is my man cave. I got my TV. He's got his drum set right there in his office, which is cool. And he's got his cars there. And he says, I just happen to take work on for people when I feel like it. I'm not actually a repair shop. So it's a man cave first, and then he'll make money in there, when he wants. So,
that's the way to do it.
And that's cool. Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah,
very cool. And he's a super nice guy. Super, super nice guy.
Nice. All right, let's get what we're talking about.
We were talking about doing some drum offs in his place. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bring out a couple of sets and light the place up one night.
I just seen Papa Squirrel pop in, but he's gone.
Where'd he go?
Yeah. So here's my big adventure for this week.
What do you got?
On my 06 Chevy Silverado, I was changing I got my lowering shackles, and I did the driver's side. Bolts came out beautifully. Put the new shackle in. I roll around on the creeper to the other side, thinking bolts are stuck. So I cut the bottom ones off, or the bottom one. Top one, man, I fought with it, couldn't get it out. So that was a 2-day project because I got frustrated and went in the house.
Yeah.
So I ended up today I went out and I sprayed it up, greased it real good, and heated it up and hit it with a air hammer, and I finally got it out.
Where shackles are concerned, the first 2 tools I take out of my toolbox are a whiz wheel and the striker for the torch. And that's where I start.
The first one went beautiful, man. I got it out real fast, put the new one in. I'm like, yes.
I was just screwing with you.
I'm halfway.
Come on, you can work on me. It's all right.
Yeah, I'm halfway down. I'm dropped 3 inches on one side. I was like, yes. So that's what happened with me.
Shackles are just a pain in the neck, always.
Yeah, because the frame, the top one is hard to get to. You got to hit the jack just right to get it in between the frame and the body.
Right. Yeah.
So here's a question for you guys. As my researching has evolved, I seen a guy. He changed the torsion bar keys. Have you guys ever messed with those?
Torsion bar keys?
Yeah, it's called a torsion bar key. It's a piece of metal.
That's just the index. That's the torsion bar fits in there, and that's how you adjust it. There should be a bolt, or I don't know if it's a bolt on that one, but it's like on the old Chryslers, when you move the torsion.
So
but the index key, right? But the index key is just recut to make it lower than getting in the standard.
You know what I did? I just did the job on that the Chevy, the truck. The hell was Rex Human driving? The guy that the Long Island Gilgo Beach guy. What the Avalanche? It was an Avalanche, and I had to get a press. It's a kind of a cast iron C clamp where the torsion bar comes back into the cross member. There was like I guess you could call it a key. I think they called it different things, but you had to basically, that's what actually adjusts the torsion bar. I think that's what you're talking about, Brian.
Yeah.
So you had to take the tension off of that with this clamp so you can get the bar out, and then you put it back in. So maybe that's what they were talking about.
Yeah, so I can order those. Like Brian was saying, they're different angles, I guess you want to call it.
That's another thing I really could do without working on in the extended near future for the rest of my life is torsion bars.
Tyler was saying you gotta have the tool.
Yeah,
it was like a clamp thing.
Yeah, yep. I mean the tool made it super easy. You just put it over, it indexes down into that key, and there's a bolt on the bottom. You drive it up with an impact gun, and it actually just unloads.
It's like a ball joint press.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
it's just tape. It's tapered out because it's not like a ball joint is a C clamp, and the tool itself is tapered like that. The shape. I've sold a couple of them. Some guys buy them thinking that they need it, and then they end up don't use it, and then they want to return it. So, they get it just in case, but it does make life a lot easier. I mean, there is a reason why they make different tools for different jobs instead of just like the average guy using a hammer and a screwdriver. And maybe adjustable wrench.
I don't know about working on Chryslers because, all the Chrysler work I've done in my life, which wasn't a whole hell of a lot, I've never really done torsion bars on them.
That tool's a GM tool.
Yeah. No, I have friends who have changed them every weekend, but for that truck, you really wouldn't have been able to get them out. I guess you could have maybe made something, but this was a nice heavy cast body with a heavy bolt. It was heavy duty because there's a lot of pressure in that torsion bar. So you need something that's going to be
See, that's
substantial.
the blue one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the GM torsion bar remover.
How much are they?
Oh, let me look here. For you, family member, that's like $1 million.
Uh-oh. Got to send a leg.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah. It's
So I think I can get 3 inches by switching that out.
I don't know. They talk about a special cream to do that, Lewis. I don't know about.
Doesn't that come with the tool, Brian? Don't you have a supply of that stuff? You have a box.
I mean, there is special cream for that, and maybe a little pill to help you out. But I'm sorry,
I have 3 inches extra.
Yeah, there you go.
You gotta be careful how you lay that down like that.
Yeah, so funny. I think I'm going to try to go 3 inches in the front and maybe 4 or 5 in the back.
That's going to be alignment time.
Yeah. So I put 3-inch drop shackles on now, but I think I'm going to, I don't know if I'm going to do the leaf spring flip or not.
It's around 190.
Yeah.
It's around 190 for the tool. That's from works on, what does that say? 88 to 2003.
I'm 06.
Yeah. I think it works further up because like I said, I've sold them.
Well, Tyler has one.
Yeah.
There you go. Go around the
Tyler
corner.
got everything, man. This dude.
Well, that's it. Like now, my buddy at the shop, he's got one too. And if it'll ever get used again, I don't know. It'll probably end up in the bottom of some toolbox somewhere, bottom drawer.
Yeah.
And that'll be that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna Summit Racing sells the keys, so I think I'm gonna go.
That's the top of it.
Go the other side.
Oh shit!
Just the one
So
side.
Keith, you asked about is it 4-wheel drive? Yes, it's 4-wheel drive. I was watching a video. A guy took his 4-wheel drive and made it an all-wheel drive, and it's a monster. Nice truck.
Yeah, you can do some nice stuff with them.
Yeah,
you're going for the cruiser look though, with the drop.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Keith.
Justin. Hey guys. Let's see if I
guys?
lag. I'm on wireless, so
Yeah.
let's see.
So yeah, Keith, it is a 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, just I have a 04 Denali, and so that's all-wheel drive, and I did 2-inch drop spindles, and then I lowered the torsion bars, and in the rear I did shackles, hangers, and then it had. Did I put blocks in it? I think I put blocks in it in the back, and then it hit the little where the bump stop was.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little metal like U, and there's a little rubber piece. I took the rubber piece off, and when I was going to bumps, it still hit. And then I chopped off the little U, so then it was just frame.
Yeah.
And if I hit a bump really hard, it'll hit. But I mean, I didn't put the right shocks in there either. I didn't put lower. I put new shocks in it when the truck was high, and then I just kept the same shocks. So I have the wrong shocks in there. I probably have to get those lowered shocks to pump that out. Oh, and then also you have to get shock extenders or something like that to move the shock a little bit out of the way.
So how far did you go down in the back?
Oh, the back, I think probably 2, 4, probably 6.
Yeah. So if
I think each of the shackles is 2, right?
Yeah. Well, I got 3-inch shackles, but if you did the block and you do the shackle mount on the front too.
Yeah. There's a shack. There's a hanger. Oh, the hanger in the back and the shackle in the front, whatever. Whichever way it was, I can't remember. I did a video on it, so that's how I just go back to the video and look at it.
That's a nice drop.
But also I have quadriceer, so I can't go. I can only go so low because the rear end has the rear steering and on there. So I can't do an axle flip to get it any lower.
Oh.
Yeah. I know on my model truck, I can go 4 inches down in the front and like 5 or 6 in the back without having to do any modification and keep the 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I redid the whole front bushings and control arm bushings and all that stuff. So I'm like, I might as well do spindles. Everything's apart. So I did the 2-inch drop spindles also. And then I upgraded the brakes, right? Right, Tyler? You can do like a Tahoe brake or something like that.
Mm-hmm. So I have the 2500 HD, so they already have pretty beefy brakes.
Yeah. Well, I think on the quadriceer, that might also have. I know in the rear it has the big brakes. The rear disc. Yeah.
I got drums in the back. How hard would it be to change it over to?
Man, you want to do everything. This is a hot rod truck.
Well, you get the fever.
Mm-hmm.
Can't leave well enough alone.
You start looking at stuff online. You're like, ooh.
So what happened with the F-150?
I still have it.
Are they going to keep both? Or are you going to?
No, I'm gonna sell the F-150 because it's rusting out faster than you can spit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have that problem down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a quick Krylon rebuild on it before he bought it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they did, man.
Like a year and a half.
Now my Chevy, it needs rockers and cab corners too.
Yep, that's where they rust out.
Yeah, but
yep.
I want to get out of that payment too because I'm a poor individual. What are you guys doing over there, Tyler?
What's that?
What are you guys doing over there?
We just got back from Bruno Brothers. We had pizza and wings, and I'm just working on getting Terry's guest bedroom set up over there.
Oh, Terry.
Looks like you're working on getting your steps in.
Yeah. I like to pace. No, I was going to walk over to the other side of the shop and show Lewis this tool.
Yeah, man. Tyler got the hookup.
So this is what it is.
Oh, he's sitting there for treats, isn't he?
And what this basically does is this goes and pushes up on the bottom of the pork chop and lets you take that bolt out of the bottom.
Right.
So that bolt is in there to adjust tension and basically allow you to level the front end side to side.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really designed to change ride height because by changing ride height with the bolt against the pork chop, what you're actually doing is you're changing your spring rate.
Yeah.
So you're going to affect your ride quality pretty severely. So what you should do is get a lowering pork chop.
Yep.
That's re-indexed and then install it just like you would a factory one. And what it does is, so this has torsion bars in it, this Mopar. So the end, let's see if I can get this on camera.
Is that Roadrunner, Tyler, that you were working on?
Yeah. So this right here is the socket, and it's 6-sided, just like the GM ones are.
Right.
And then basically what you're doing is you're just turning it like 10 degrees or whatever the lowering one is. So your spring rate stays the same when properly installed, but the control arm sits at a higher angle. So you still have the same amount of spring travel per pound,
Right. Well, that's in the hood. That's how we do it. We just crank the bolt instead of doing the other stuff.
Who cares how it rides?
In the hood, what you do is you leave it sit on the ground and you crawl under there with an oxyacetylene torch and you heat up the coil until it sags down to where you want it.
Well, my part of the hood, we don't have the ability for heat. See, we just crank the screw all the way.
Oh, yeah.
That's
There you go.
cheapest and easiest way.
But there's no spring if you have a torsion bar, right?
Right. Yeah, that is the spring.
Yeah, that. So people would heat that. If you heat that up, would it change the torsion bar?
You can't. Well, I wouldn't try.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's basically it's the same reason you don't heat up your coil springs either, because you take all the what's it called? Temper. You take all the temper out of it.
Yeah. So those pork chops are like $150 for the lower end ones. Ain't too bad.
Yep.
It's like when you take a torque stick and try to take a loosen the bolt up. It's like a torsion bar. It's only supposed to spin one way or move one way. It flexes one way.
Right.
That.
So, Lewis, those pork chops, they're probably going to be a nightmare to get off.
I was just going to say that.
Really?
How easy do you think is going to be able to get that torsion bar out? Because I had a Typhoon trying to get the torsion bar out. I was banging the crap out of it, gooped it up, and I could not get it out.
The guys used the air chisel.
Oh, just chisel.
Yeah. So I did lowering pork chops on Paulie's. We're gonna get echo now because Terry's on.
All right.
What's up, gentlemen?
We're not up to it.
I did lowering pork chops on Paulie's Tahoe. It's a 96 or 97, something like that. Yeah. And I had about 2 hours getting one pork chop off, and then the other one. So you have to heat it, cool it, soak it down with PB Blaster, heat it again. It took me like 4 cycles to get the pork chops off.
Yeah.
Just unscrew it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the problem is you have to slide them straight back, right? Because the torsion bar is keyed on both ends, and you can't just, at least on the Tahoe, I don't know about the truck, but on the Tahoe, the cross member that they go into is not removable with tension on them. So what you have to do is you have to slide basically the pork chop off the end of the torsion bar by pushing the torsion bar through the control arm.
Yep, that's correct.
So I've done several of them. They're not fun, but with the proper tools and a lift, not too bad.
Yeah, I know a guy that has a lift.
You do, yeah.
If I can get Terry's car off it.
I think you stood that guy up like 3 times for taking your mom's to the store instead.
Man, look. She's probably listening. She's gonna call in.
She might be.
Man.
Yeah, listen. I need her number. I'm gonna call her and tell her you're throwing her under the bus.
No, she'll tell you.
We're supposed to go to the shooting range. I sent him the address 30 minutes before we're supposed to meet. He goes, "Oh, I gotta take my mom to the store." I'm like, "Oh, you forgot, didn't you?"
Well, I did forget, but I did have to take her to the store.
Yeah.
It was both of the above. But man, my mom has to go down every aisle. I'm like, "Mom, you ain't got a shopping list?" She's like, I like to see what I'm looking for. Okay. She's the boss, these moms.
Yeah,
my wife likes to get in and get out.
I'm the same way.
Same.
Hey, I'm glad Terry's on. I wanted to talk about this. You guys know that Motor Trend now Discovery. It's going to move to the Discovery Plus. You guys hear about that?
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering. I'd like to get maybe Terry, because Terry might have some more insight. What do you think? You think it's a good thing, or is it going to be? Are they going to ruin it like they do, like Discovery Plus does to everything?
I think the whole Discovery Plus, and like you paying people who already have Discovery, you're charging them to watch Discovery Plus.
Right.
Just put it on Discovery. Like same with Motor Trend Plus. I mean, you got to pay so you're paying 2 subscriptions. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was I really feel that was the downfall to Monster Garage when it came back, because they didn't put it on, what was it, Discovery. It was strictly Discovery Plus where you could watch it.
Yeah.
And
but now Motor Trend Plus is going away. It's going to be bunched into Discovery Plus.
Right, exactly.
And
so
I
like I said,
yeah,
you just look at the comments. I was reading the comments that people just like saying, even when they said that they're going to put it on, I'm just going back to Monster Garage, Discovery Plus. people are just like, why am I paying for Discovery if I got to watch it on Discovery Plus?
Yeah,
They were just very upset about it. So I think, if you don't have Discovery, if there was no Discovery, then make Discovery Plus and put it out there, of course. But if you're charging people whatever you're charging them a month for Discovery, and you'd be like, oh, it's a new platform, Discovery Plus, it's going to cost you this much more. No one's going to go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason they're doing that is because they lost all the money from cable because everybody jumped off of cable.
Yeah.
So they had to figure out a way to get your money.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if Discovery, because it's still Discovery, is going to put like restrictions on. Oh, we don't like this car show now, and just dump it, like they've done to other stuff.
I think it's going to come down to that. I think what's going to happen is you're going to just have these people like Brian Bassone, like his channel. People just and like John Galante, the 0 to 60. I think those channels are going to take off because like they say, these producers, they're not car guys, and car guys are not producers. So there's no happy medium there for some reason. But I do think that these pay-per-view, like that's going to be on Hulu and all that, I think that's going to be the next wave. That's going to be it.
Because you can go exactly what you want.
Exactly.
Well, the problem is if you get all these things, all these different streaming services that you like and you want, you're back up to what you were paying for cable for everything.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
What do I get rid of?
And I think another problem, problem might not be the right word, but another thing that is going to affect the industry is the huge increase of all of the free content creators, right? All the YouTube channels, all the guys pushing content on TikTok and Instagram. So what that's doing is that's taking a lot of the viewership time away from these big money productions. And I think what you're going to end up having is it's not going to be sustainable to pay someone with a big name, big personality to, $20, $30, $40,000 an episode. You can get a YouTube for you by sending him 1,000, and that's it.
Yeah, but look at Richard Rollins. He's even on YouTube.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like you got all these guys that are, what's his name? Steve Darnell, YouTube. They're all going to a different platform instead of, like you said, paying, because you get someone like Stacey David, he actually pays for the time, and it's a lot of money. So
but part of that also is once again the problem with 95% of everything out here is the fucking greed everybody has for something.
Yeah.
And when these guys screw everybody, we just get sick and tired of it.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can go and do your own thing, and you're going to have people that's either going to like it or not, or they're going to follow you or not, and that's the problem with all this stuff. They get so damn greedy and want to charge. It's bad enough. What is it? We got a week, and Target is now having a subscription. I mean, you have to pay it's like a Costco account now with Target.
What?
Target is going to start it. Now you can go in and shop at Target, but if you want their deals and if you want this and you want the special, you're going to have to pay $49.95 a month or whatever, or a year or whatever it is to do. And it's bad enough. Walmart has three different versions of that. You have your regular store. You have what's the not
Superstore?
Yeah, the Superstore. But you have what's their
neighborhood ones?
Costco.
Oh,
not Costco. What's the other one?
Sam's
Club. And then they want you to, even in the regular Walmart, they have a thing where you go in there and sign up for $19.95 and get a few perks. I mean, dude, this greed is just killing everything. And you got people, and some people like me, I'm just not going to put up with it, or you're not going to do it. And you'll still have that idiot that will pay for it and bitch about it and still pay. So
that's why I refuse to use the self-checkout.
All those other big guys. What's that guy from Phantom, whatever?
Dan Short.
Dan Short, man. He told it the way it was, dude. You're telling me all this stuff, and then you're telling me you're not going to pay me, and they play the shit out of him. I won't even watch. I don't even watch Motor Trend anymore. I won't watch it. I haven't watched it since at the time he was on here and he said that. Because they just play the shit out of it, make all the money on it, and they're not going to pay the guy.
Yeah,
come on, man.
Terrible.
Don't even get me started. I'll go back on mute. I'm listening to this asshole talk. We're 37 seconds in, and he's already fucked up everything when he's talking. So
Yep.
I'm missing the.
It's on
the Union. I'll wait for reruns tomorrow.
Tyler, are you hiding from somebody?
I know what's going on. You're getting more and more.
I got the snap-on shades.
Oh,
nice.
And this is the QA1 hat.
Oh, QA1 hat. Oh, because I got my Freedom Factory hat. And
No, I don't support Cletus.
You don't like Cletus? And then I get my finger out of the way. Look, I got it signed.
Oh boy!
Yippee! We were down there, and I had the hat on, and my kid's like, "Hey, why don't we get the hat signed?" I'm like, "Oh, good idea. Here, sign it." He's like, "All right."
Okay, let me rephrase. It's not that I don't support him. It's I don't enjoy his content.
Oh.
I don't fanboy over Cletus.
I don't fanboy, but some of the stuff's kind of funny. But plus, he's kind of local to me, so it's a little more. More personally, I can go down there on a basis.
I'm totally on board with what he's been doing at the Freedom Factory. I think that's great, and all the support he gives to racing programs and stuff around the country. That's great too. It's just I've never enjoyed that type of content, which. And I haven't watched it in years. Maybe his tone has changed, but for a while there, it just seemed like every video they put out was, "Look at this amazing thing I built that you could never afford."
Well, now
and that's when I stopped watching. That's when I stopped watching Street Outlaws, when it was no longer about $150,000 drag cars. It was $500,000, $1 million pro mods.
Yeah.
That I lost interest in it. I can watch NHRA. And cut all the drama, arguing, fighting, pretending the cops are going to bust us baloney.
Yeah, that's why I watched Street Outlaws a couple times, and then I stopped watching it after. I'm like, this is totally phony. I'm like, I'm not. They're on a
season or two.
Yeah,
the first season or two weren't too bad, but as soon as you start seeing them go out to the street race spot, and there's like 15 rented light towers and all this stuff, I'm like, okay, that's totally a secret street meetup spot.
Yeah, cops are sitting there at the end just blocking the road. Yeah, it's like, oh, come on.
Right. And then all of a sudden, an hour later, they're like, "Oh, the cops are coming. We got to scramble. Let me just load up my pro mod in the trailer real quick before the cops roll in."
They had
how it works.
They had that Street Outlaw not too far from. I guess it was about an hour and a half from where I live. And
No Prep King.
buddy,
No Prep King, the drag race.
Yeah, a buddy of mine went up there, and man, he was like, "Man, you want to talk about, like you said, set up or whatever?" Because they go up there and they close the road, the town. I mean, the police is sitting there, and then they also even had the fire station. They said, "Well, if you're going to do this here, but we, just for safety reasons, this is all off sign." Like I said, they shut down the road. You couldn't go on it, and they're like acting like they're out in the middle of the wilderness by themselves. It was TV's
I'm
great.
Fast and Furious if I want to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what it comes down to. They picked entertainment over substance, in my opinion. Right? As soon as the common guy watching it can't relate to it anymore, it's just like watching NHRA or NASCAR.
Yeah.
I don't watch NASCAR anymore for the simple fact that the sport doesn't relate to me. It's cool. I enjoy the technology and the fact that it's still a naturally aspirated, V8 going 200 and some mile an hour for hours on end. Yeah, it's awesome. But I'm never going to do that. If my biggest dream was to drive a lap in a NASCAR race, I would never be able to afford it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's as I've gotten older, I don't enjoy. It's like these people that go and watch the yacht spotting YouTube channels, where it's like, ooh, there's the Saudi prince's yacht sailing through the French Riviera. It's 1 square foot of that yacht costs more than my house. Okay, that doesn't do anything for me. You know, it's like people that go to the exotic car shows and ooh and awe over Veyrons and Koenigseggs and all that stuff. I appreciate the technology. It's cool. You're basically driving a 4-wheeled fighter jet, but I'm never going to own one. I'm never going to work on one, and I'm probably never even going to be able to sit in one.
Yeah, they have a every year in celebration.
Have a Vega.
Yeah,
They have in a celebration by Orlando. They have this exotic car show, and I went like maybe 2 times. I mean, they have all the Ferraris, all the Lamborghini, everything. What is it? Starts with a P. The heck is it? Panos or something?
Pensacola.
Pagani.
Pagani.
Oh, Pagani.
Paganis, and I'm like, and I look at it, I go, wow, and you can see, I mean, you can see where the money is. I'm like, wow, that's really nice. But there's some people, oh my god, look at this, check this out. I'm like,
yeah, get 18 pictures standing in front of it, and
yeah, I take one picture of the dash because it's all freaking like polished and stainless and whatever, looks. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Whole body's carbon. I'm like, oh yeah, but I'm like, okay, it's just I'm looking at it like.
And I'm not knocking anyone else, if that's what you enjoy doing and looking at and whatever, then cool, but that's not me. It doesn't do anything for me. What I'd rather see is Johnny Ballmer's car, the Ford GT that holds the world record for fastest street car with air conditioning, and that's by his own admission, that's a redneck from Florida who figured out how aerodynamics works and put a whole bunch of power into a light car, and he's just killing it. He's broke his own record like 6 times now, and all kinds of craziness. Veyrons and Koenigseggs are scared to line up next to him for a mile race. They won't do it because they know they'll get creamed.
Yeah.
Now that is cool, and especially because he doesn't have $8 million in his car.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. So back when Cletus used to post videos like that, I liked it a lot more.
Yeah.
And that's why I like watching the Whistling Diesel guys, because they show you building their crazy contraptions that, and they're doing it for the memes and doing it for the antics and whatever, but it's entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah. He showed you this thing that you can't afford to ever own. And he's like, I'm going to take this out and drive it through a cornfield and catch it on fire. Oh, the Ferrari?
The Ferrari.
That was unbelievable.
It burned all the way to the ground, too.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Like,
and then they had the minivan. Their rental minivan was sitting too close to it, and it caught on fire.
Yeah.
Idiots.
But then,
he got sued real bad over that, too.
Did you see the other part, though? Then he took the parts of the Ferrari and sold them scrap parts. In like boxes. I'm like, holy crap. Pay for the burnt Ferrari.
Yep. Like he bought a General Lee. It's an original 69 Charger General Lee clone. And then he put that twin turbo, like 1,400 horsepower LS in it.
Yeah.
And the first thing he did when he got it was smash the windshield.
And they took the weight and threw it out the windshield.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell's the problem?
I could never bring myself to smash stuff up like he does, but I like watching his videos because they're entertaining.
Funny as hell, man. It's like,
yeah.
Flies a helicopter inside and smashed against this.
Yeah. And I know from experience that negativity, if a video inspires negativity, it's going to get way more shares, way more views.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, if you see a cool video that comes up on your feed and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool, hit the like button, maybe share it on your timeline, whatever, and you move on. If a video pops up that makes you mad or that makes you go, what the hell? You're gonna share it to everyone you know. You're gonna tag people. You're gonna send it to them on text. You're gonna be like, look at this crap, man.
Look at this jerk. Look at this idiot. He burnt his Ferrari in the cornfield.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
And so I had a YouTube short go viral. It's over 3 million views.
Yeah.
And the biggest I have like 6,000 comments on it, and I bet you 5,000 of them are, it's called an engine, not a motor. Yeah. Because I called it a motor in the video.
Oh God.
So negativity sells, man.
Yeah, that's a tip.
Sex
and negativity.
Yeah, that's a tip. Just purposely put wrong stuff in there. Say the wrong thing. People go, oh, well, start keyboard warrior at you. Yep.
Yeah,
Hey,
and
Jeff,
that's like if you're scrolling through Facebook and you see all these like life hacks videos where it's some dude in Asia and he's hot gluing 2 bottle caps together to do something silly, right? But that video has millions of views.
Yeah, like what's he doing? Yeah, ridiculous.
Well, on the
like
negative
literally, you can go to
aspect-
the store and they sell a thing to do that for like $3. But okay, get your millions of views, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, like on the negative aspect, if you look at the news, their motto is "If it bleeds, it leads."
Yeah.
Yep. Justin.
Yeah.
Give us the update on the car show.
Oh yeah.
It was great. Didn't suck, like at all. Well, okay, a little bit. There was a little bit of suck, but
so tell us about King Dig.
That thing was amazing.
Wow.
I don't know how much time I spent looking at it, but it was a well-deserved win. Let me tell you.
5-year build.
That thing was. You can just see attention to detail in every piece of that car. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was some nice stuff. Like a lot of the grade 8 stuff was really nice. There's a lot of stuff that didn't make grade 8 that was really nice. But that car was. Go ahead.
Did you happen to see the black Fox body Mustang with my banner on the back window?
I did not. I unfortunately didn't get a whole lot of chance to walk around too much. I did see a few Fox bodies, but most of our time walking around was spent on Thursday after setup. We were swamped Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think they said they had record attendance. It's a busy show. They had record attendance on Saturday.
Yeah, I heard. Were you there in 2017 when we did the General Lee jump?
So I got down there, but I didn't get down there before that. And I was ready to go down after the jump. I was ready to go down the following year to see that with the Trans Am.
With the Trans Am.
Yep.
Yeah, when the Detroit City Council screwed us over.
Yep.
Yeah, good time.
A bunch of us were going to go down early and go check that out.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like I said, 99% of that show was great. Like I said, beautiful cars. Like I said, that deal with, Dave Kindig, that car is just well deserved.
Yep.
We're doing another jump, Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing one in Canada this time.
I did see that.
Clear up in New Brunswick.
Why are you so quiet, Terry?
I froze.
I'm just listening to you guys. You guys are awesome. Listen to you guys.
Same way, Terry. Sit here and listen.
I'm doing what Ray does. Sit and listen.
Just taking it all in.
Taking it all in.
Keep
So you have
notes and
something to
sell it to
contribute.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Hey, how'd that get up?
I'll be honest. I got one ear on this freaking State of the Union. Because it's a train wreck. I'm like the moth to a flame. I can't. I don't
Can't look away.
I have to
listen. When
it's
he
like
was
biting
vice
on a
president,
canker sore. You gotta.
When he was vice president under Obama, I remember a doctor publicly stating that he was exhibiting signs of senility when he was vice president under Obama.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's had brain surgery twice, right? I mean, that's
right.
Could have done something.
Who was it? Was it the Supreme Court? Someone just declared him not mentally fit enough to stand trial for anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the document.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the documents. That's right.
But he's okay to.
That was convenient. Yeah, free. Okay to run the free world though.
Can't stand trial.
Right.
Can lead us all. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's something.
He's been a puppet from day one, in my opinion. But hey, can't prove it, so must not be true.
Hey, he's amazing. Nobody else. I've never seen anybody else fall upstairs. So,
I mean,
that's
you listen. You haven't been behind
3
me.
times in 1 second.
Yeah.
You haven't been behind me, Isaac. I mean, I'll go down all day. I always fall going up. Since I'm a kid, I do it. I don't know why.
Motormouth Ray for president.
And I'm not the president, right? Right.
Yeah.
Got my vote.
All right, so Keith, what else did you do to your truck?
Could you just imagine Ray being in front of the White House making an address, and he makes a reference to a car part, and he reaches down under the podium, and he's like, "I just happen to have one right here."
Right.
Yeah.
I just happen to have one.
Where the hell that come from?
That's funny.
So, Mr. President, you said way back when you were working on that flag wrap Jeep, and when you were working on the brakes. Oh, hold on, I've got it right here.
I got it right here.
Here's the piece that
Let me show
The
you
brake,
what we're
it's called
talking
a brake pressure check valve.
There you go.
Yeah.
10 pounds.
He'll tell one of the Secret Service men, pass that box right there.
I will be my Secret Service guy.
That would be it.
That'd be
So
it.
Keith, what other things you do to your truck so I can steal some ideas?
That truck, that's about it. I put new brakes on it, and yeah, just the suspension. I didn't touch the engine or anything yet. I had the transmission slipping, so that's kind of like next on the list. I want to put it has a 4L60E, yeah, and I want to put 80 in it, 80E in it.
4L slip the E.
Yeah, I think
More accurate.
for a second. I think
Oops, all neutrals.
Yeah, I think third gear's gone. So
Yeah.
so it's like, all right. I'm like, all right. And I when I first got it, I put a new rear end in it. I put a new transfer case in it. Did I put the front diff in? Oh no, wait. I didn't put transfer case in. I put front diff. I have a new transfer case that I'm gonna put in when I do the new transmission. And
does the 80 take a different transfer case or same one?
I think there's some.
I thought it was different because the output shaft of the 80 should be bigger.
Yeah, I think there might be some adapter piece that I need to get. What is he doing?
That's the washer.
Some broken pieces.
Making noise.
Joey.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hey, Joey.
Joey, you've changed.
Yeah, you look different.
Well, earlier I was on a live and I had this camera hooked up, and I just wanted to come and say hi so you guys will feel better.
It's all right. I like the side of you better anyway. You look more attractive this way.
You think so too? Wow. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That is a compliment. I look like plastic now.
Hey, it works for
Some
Hollywood.
people pay good money for that.
You know, I'll tell you what, guys. Before we forget and totally get off the subject, Lewis, I found a picture of that tool in use when I was working on the Avalanche.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to get that to remove that. Yeah.
This piece right here is that it comes like this.
Yeah, that keyway.
And there's the other part of it. This is with the bolt out. That's the long end. But that's how that tool works. It just puts that pressure up in there.
Puts that up there. Yeah.
And then you'll be able to remove that that bar.
Right. Exactly.
Torsion bar.
You take the torsion bar.
Torsion bar.
I never thought to ever use that tool like that. I have one of those for removing like ball joints and stuff, but it can be used for that as well.
It could be, but that's actually a specialty tool. It's got a little notch on the top of it to keep it from sliding off that cross member.
Okay, so maybe it won't. I
Hole
don't
in
know.
top of that cross member that it goes into, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Joey,
you
I'll
think about
say
removing
this,
the torsion
where
bar?
there's a will, there's a way. I've seen plenty of guys use tools to do something they weren't made for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lewis,
I
you
do
removing
it.
your torsion bar?
No. I'm going to change that key because you can buy lowering keys that the hole's still the same, but the adjustment part.
Okay, gotcha.
Lowering part
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, so I can. How far did Paulie's truck go down? 2-3 inches.
Yeah, we dropped it like 2.5. I think they make different ones.
Uh-huh.
So the drop will be advertised.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to go with 3.
And whatever you do, if you remove those torsion bars, make sure you put them back in the right spot.
Yeah, they're supposed to be indexed.
Mm-hmm.
Because speaking of which, that's what they did in Monster Garage. The guy, what's his name, Alex. Yeah, he didn't want to hear anything. He put the torsion bars in the wrong spot, and I was like, could it be possible that there's a right and a left, or maybe like.
Ooh.
I don't know. One should go back to where the other one went. I don't know. No. The torsion bars. Sure enough, we unplugged it, we put it back in, and it sat right. But he didn't want to hear that.
Was it like cockeyed or something? What was the?
Yeah, it was just not sitting right. Or what was the end result? He put them in because first of all, we had to figure out that it needed a keyway because none of us took that thing out. And I was like, is there some type of tool that needs to be replaced one of these little pieces right here? Nah, you just gotta bang them out. I was like, just gonna bang them out. Let me just stand back. You know.
Oh yeah.
Come to find out that there's a keyway that you got to put in that truck that they blew up. And then I was just like, we should mark them because I'm just like mark everything, like put right, left, front, rear. I mean, just mark them. He didn't want to do that. He just wanted to take them out. Next thing you know, he put them in, and they wouldn't go in. That's what happened. It wouldn't go in. That's what happened. It would not go in, and I was just like, is it possible there's a right and a left? Because he was thinking, no, they're all the same. They're the same. And I was like, well, take one out and try it, The next thing you know, they weren't right in.
Well, I get to the point where why do you argue everything? You know what I mean? There's people that
you got people that just want to argue everything.
Yeah.
Well, no, you know what it was? Voice. He was hogging the camera. That's what it was. He was a camera hog, and I was just like, I was hoping because Ray even told you when we had that talk. That's why we didn't invite him. That's why he wasn't there, and I was just like, please let that be on the TV. Let that make it to air because like they made him look like he was the savior, but he was messing up more than he was helping. And I almost had to knock him out.
Which truck was that?
That part would have made it.
That part would have made it because I started flipping off that truck.
Yeah. Which truck was that? Wasn't that the sawmill truck or something like that?
The sawmill truck, exactly.
Yeah.
Because he was putting his hands in everything, right? And we were trying to. What was it? It wasn't the switch? I forgot what it was, but he opened the box. Oh, that's what it was. We had to get a new piece to work oh Jesus, what is it called?
Wasn't it where the blade was?
The pump. We had to put the pump in to pump the fluid to move that belt, which was hooked up to that big blade. It was working off a hydraulic. And he had opened it up and he was fooling around with the whole bunch of boxes and all that, and he misplaced a couple of pieces. And I asked him, I was like, because like it got tasked to me, and I was like, let me just go. I was like, Alex, where's the box that you did? He said, I don't know. He says it was over there, So I went over there, looked, because I don't, I'm not one to really get upset about stupid things like that. But then when I ask you like fourth time and you give me an attitude, now after work Terry comes out, and so I said to him, like, you told me to search over here. It's not there because we had to find the O-rings or something like that. You told me to search over there. I searched over there. You told me to search over here. I said, to get your ass off of this truck before I throw you off and find, choice words, pieces. And at that point, that's when he had said something smart and I started going towards him and the producers jumped in. I was going to just yank him off that truck because like he kind of overstepped the boundaries. And, but he found them, he found them.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't have to get to that point.
Mm-mm.
Yep.
Listen, you look like Muhammad Ali. There ain't no way I'm trying to fight you.
That's what he does.
I was going to just slam off the truck. That's all. I wasn't going to try to hurt him or anything like that.
Oh, I could take
He looks
him.
like the type that would sue, He looks like that
One
would
arm,
sue.
one arm tied behind my back, man. You're going down.
No.
That is you with no arms.
Right.
I got a stub, and it's dangerous. You get close enough, I'm taking your eyes out. No, though, seriously, guys.
Terry was stubbed to death. You mean stabbed? Nope, stubbed.
Across the room. That's all.
Yeah.
He's sitting on a lifted truck anyway, so just throw him across the room. It's easy. It's easier to pull someone down and out than it is to pull someone up and over.
Yeah,
Right.
The bottom
I
line.
wanted to say I'm sorry I missed the show. I did plan to be here. However, over in the modeling community, we're dealing with the loss of one of our modeler friends, and it's pretty
sorry.
rough right now. So, well, thank you. So it's really rough right now, and everybody's trying to get organized to do like little ceremonial services in their lives. So I'll be doing mine Sunday. So I told him, I said, well, guys, I need to go over and say hi to Planet Traffic, and I'll be back. But so I just thought I'd stop by.
Tell all of those people over there to come over here and hang out with us. They'll be our special guest.
There you go.
Yeah, and they have been doing that whenever I'm on here. I just didn't do it where it's feeding over to my channel right now.
Well, we'll get them on the screen.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Oh, they would love that. Yeah. I'll pick some of them out that are really, really, really good, even better than me at this. Okay. And
is that possible, Joey?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, it's touch and go, but you know, it is what it is. You know, you feel me?
Yep.
Get your hands off me, you pervert. But Ray, it's always a pleasure to see you and all of you. And I need to get up with Ray anyway and talk to him a minute on the phone. So Ray, I'll probably text you sometime this week.
All right, I'll make sure I take your number out of my phone so I don't see it.
Well, okay. That's how you want to be. I'll go ahead and block you now.
Block right off the bat.
I'll send you the link to my StreamYard or to my Teespring. You can buy my shirt I designed. All it says on it is blocked.
Nice.
That's my favorite word. So
nice.
I thought might as well market it.
Sure. All right, Joey.
All right, Joey.
Guys, yep. You have a great night, and we'll talk at you. Thanks.
All right, so long.
All right. See you, Joey.
Yeah.
See you, Joey.
So I was going to drive a truck over. To your spot, Tyler, but I'm one springless.
I've heard that before.
Hey, I'm sure you've been on the south side and haven't stopped to see me.
I'd never go down there, man. It's the hood.
Especially at night.
Yeah, especially at night.
Terry,
my power door lock doesn't work on the passenger side. It's a long reach to lean over and lock it.
Terry was following me and my wife to my house, and my wife ran the light, and I ran the light. He was like, "What's going on? Why are you running?"
Yeah, I was like, "Well, you guys run lights here." You know? And he told me that you don't want to stay around too long.
You don't want to stop.
Yeah. So I was like, I gotta run these lights because I don't know where this cat lives.
Listen, when I drive to Lewis's, I take my gun out of my holster and just leave it in the cup holder.
Yep.
Ain't that
bad. Oh, it ain't that bad, Mr. Don't Stop at Red Lights.
Wait a minute, Lewis. I saw you working on your bus, and you were carrying, just hanging out in your yard.
Listen, when I wake up and get out of bed, I put my shoes on and I put my gun on. When I go to bed, I take my gun off and take my shoes off.
Yep. So you can go back to the first videos we were doing at the Duke's shop 6-7 years ago, and there's lots of comments about me laying in one of the stunt cars welding with my gun on, and people were like, "Oh, that's so dangerous," and this, that, the other, and blah blah. If it's really that bad a neighborhood, and da da da, it's not about that. It's I get up in the morning, I strap up, and I stay strapped until I go to bed.
Yeah, it's a habit now. Yeah.
I can't. Yep. So sitting here, I can't by feel tell if my wallet's in my pocket or if my gun's on my side. But if they're not there, I could tell you.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
So, yeah, exactly.
It's probably that good leather you're wearing.
It probably is. Yeah, I'm amazed I actually got that.
What does
that mean?
I'm gonna mute him.
Listen. Sometimes the pocket cannon isn't enough. That's the nightstand gun.
Yeah,
What do you choice for a shower gun?
Stainless.
Yeah, I got a
That's a
couple
good choice.
AMCs that are fully stainless.
The full stainless Taurus Judge.
Okay.
That'll do it.
Yep.
With snake shot.
Yep. Rock salt 410 shells.
Wowza.
For me, I just moved to the north side. I don't have to pack. I just wear my cholo socks and my dickies and walk outside.
Yeah.
They leave me the hell
You
alone.
just can't wear red, right?
I pretty much wear whatever I want.
Oh, okay.
You know, talking about daylight savings time this weekend. Now they're saying Arizona does not, except in like the Hopi Nation, Arizona does not follow it.
And that's
Right.
true.
There's a couple states, right?
I didn't know that.
Indiana.
Yeah.
Indiana doesn't either.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys get through the day without daylight savings.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's an antiquated practice that serves no purpose.
Yeah, I know.
Farmers.
Yeah, it was a farmer's thing.
Yeah.
And shop owners before the electric lights.
I just got to remember. So I can never remember when they roll forward or back.
Spring
that's
forward,
the thing.
fall back. Spring
Yeah,
forward,
but come fall, I'll forget. But I know, like right now, it's 7:00 that the show comes on our time, and then when they roll, it'll be 6:00 our time. But see, like when my son was in the military and he was in North Carolina, right when they'd roll one way or the other, I'd call him at the worst time. He'd be like, "Dad, I'm trying to sleep. Come on." I'm like, "I don't know what time it is." I'm like, "You're what? 3 hours? No, 4 hours. 3 hours or 2 hours? What? Sorry."
Yeah.
Text me when I can call you.
Yeah, I have a friend that moved to California. Used to live here in Florida, and I'll just pick up the phone and call him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm working." I'm like, "Oh, it's 5:00 here. I'm done." And he's like, "I'm still doing stuff." I'm like, "Oh, all right, I'll call you later."
Yeah,
I think that's the dumbest thing they've ever done.
Yeah.
What time zones?
No, daylight savings.
Daylight savings.
time.
Yeah, daylight savings is.
No, time
It
zones are a
traces
good
it.
idea.
Yeah.
The daylight savings time traces its roots back to when shopkeepers had to light their shops with oil lamps.
Oh yeah.
And it was to move business hours to follow the sunlight so that they could save on oil and stuff like that.
Yeah, it made sense back then.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Since the electric light bulb, not so much.
Yeah, we're fancy now.
Yeah.
They even have lights
It's not
on
like
tractors.
it's not like most businesses would change their hours anyway to coincide with daylight.
No.
Have you guys seen the new tractors? Dude,
Those
these
things are
tractors are
crazy.
like Mercedes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my neighbor had one that was, I don't know, it was fairly new. It was new like 3 years ago, so like 2020, whatever. He had AC,
That
a
is a new
wiper,
tractor.
everything. I was like, my God, this is nice. And then he moved it. Pulled it. Yeah.
Air seat.
Yep.
Air seat. They had a radio in it. I was like, man,
yeah.
it's just like driving a freaking car.
Yep.
So the newer ones, like in the last 10 years or so, you can fit them with GPS and auto steer, so they'll follow lines down the field and do your planting for you. Basically, the only reason the farmer's in there is to just like make sure it doesn't run over a rock or something.
Yeah. Do you guys ever watch Jeremy Clarkson's? I don't remember the name of the show.
Oh,
But he has his farm.
The farm series, yeah.
And he buys a Lamborghini tractor.
Yes.
I saw that.
That's Lamborghini's primary business in Europe.
Yeah, I know, but it's just funny that obviously
That's where they started from.
Yeah,
They've been building tractors longer than cars. Yeah.
Yeah. Every time I go to Mecum, I see a Lamborghini. I'm like, I can afford this Lamborghini, and it's like a $15,000 tractor. I'm like, I don't know what to do with it.
But you'd have it though.
I would have it, and it says Lamborghini all over it.
Well, if you were single, you could tell the girls, "Hey, I drive a Lamborghini."
Hey, you want to go for a ride in a
Yeah.
Lamborghini? On my
I got
Lamborghini.
Lamborghini wheels on
Listen.
my Fiat.
Oh, yeah.
That's
They come
why.
out with a
You
movie.
do?
That's
Yeah, they
why
made a
I
movie.
want. That's why I want a one of those Corvette, those plastic beds, so that I can tell girls at the bar that I drive a Corvette.
Yeah. Want to come see my Corvette?
Yep. Or my one buddy, he used to have a Chevette, so
Yep.
he would always say, the vet gets him wet. Well, he's talking about a Chevette, not a Corvette.
Yeah.
I miss my Chevette.
Huh?
I miss my Chevette. I had a 2-door Chevette.
I don't know
Yeah.
if it was a
How did
Chevette
you get in it?
or
Yeah, that's
I
true.
fit, you'd be surprised what I fit in.
Lean the seat all the way back.
he'd take the front seat out and drive from the back seat.
My sister
I had
had the
a-
Pontiac Chevette, the T1000.
He went out. Yep.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Good thing it wasn't a T2000 because then it would hunt you down.
Yeah.
Right.
Lewis, you were asking if didn't they make a movie for the Lamborghini?
Yeah. Versus Ferrari.
Basically,
Ford versus Ferrari.
it was more so kind of like the beginnings of
That was
Lamborghini.
Ferrari versus Ford, but there's a Lamborghini movie that just came out.
Yeah, I was seeing the previews, but I didn't know if it came out yet.
Yeah,
Oh.
it came out in I think 2022, but it was like I don't think it really hit theaters, and we were looking for it. It was hard to find, but we finally found it.
It's on Prime, right?
We what I don't remember if it was Prime, might have been. We found it.
Yeah, on
We had
Prime.
we had to watch it with whatever it was set up. It had commercials, but I mean, it wasn't bad. It was the story of Lamborghini, the beginnings and stuff.
Yeah, I
But,
like to watch that.
I
I'm
mean,
a
it's
Lambo
pretty good.
Did they have tractors in it?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it really did cover how he came back from war, from the military. He wanted to start a tractor business, and it had all that, and it had where he approached Enzo Ferrari about the clutches, and that he could, if they partnered together, he had a way that he could fit his tractor clutches to the Ferrari, and they could make money. And it had, they even put that line in there where he told him, "Go back to building your tractors, farmer." And that's what set Ferruccio Lamborghini off. And he at that point he just wanted to beat Ferrari.
Oh, you probably watched it on Tubi. Tubi, had
Yeah,
it free.
it was Tubi.
You could buy it or rent it, whatever, on Amazon for like $5.
Yeah, I was looking to. We were even looking. I think it was January. We were looking to see if we could find it at Walmart or something, like buy the movie, the DVD. Something like that. I mean, we've got Ford versus Ferrari.
It's hard to find DVDs now.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I was like, that's a movie, and my wife was on board. She knows I like cars. She's, and then the Ferrari movie just came out too. That one just came out and was in theaters. I think it's about to go to streaming service.
Ferrari versus Ford, or
No, it's just the Ferrari story.
Oh.
It's basically like the answer to the Lamborghini movie. But it's got
I
the
wonder
guy
if Whistling Diesel will be in it.
it's got the guy that plays Enzo is he's the guy from the Star Wars movies.
That narrows it down.
Right,
Han Solo.
yeah.
Harrison
No, the recent one, the
Younger guy.
Adam
Driver.
Adam Driver. Thank you.
Mhm.
Kylo Ren.
Oh, Kylo Ren. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Ren Kanishi.
Shish
So
Kababi.
I've driven Ferraris and the Lambos. I'm a Lambo guy, man. Ferraris just seem chintzy compared to a Lambo.
I don't know.
I got to drive Ferrari at the air show. They had something where you could, you paid, I think it was like $90 or something like that. And it was a real small track. I had fun, but
that's how a lot of them guys afford their supercars is they rent them out to events like that.
Yeah.
Which Ferrari?
It was a 430. It's if you're on my Facebook, if you go on my Facebook in the videos, it's in there. There's a video and there's pictures. But that same group, they had a Lamborghini, and I wanted to drive both, but the Lamborghini, I guess, was down being repaired. I think it was having clutch work done or something. But I wanted to drive both so I could feel what the difference was. But
that makes sense.
It was a blast. I think the Lamborghini they offered to drive, was a Murcielago.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, if you look at my pictures on Facebook, where in the photo album where I drove the Ferrari, I'm pretty sure I took a picture of the sign where it said drive a Ferrari or drive a Lamborghini, and then it gives a description.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Ferrari changed their policy a few years ago, to where now if you haven't previously owned a Ferrari, you can only buy one if you pay cash or something like that.
They won't sell you one.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
They
You have
won't.
to have
You
buy a new one. Nope.
I'm gonna
yeah,
keep
they
buying
only
my Crown
previous
Vics then.
owners or whatever.
I got a friend in New York City that rents Lambos and Ferraris and all the high end stuff.
I think that was part of the, if you wanted a F50 or whatever it was, you had to be a previous owner and you had show that you can wag your tail and jump around in hoops and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, the Enzo was limited run. I know that.
Yeah, but I think you had to own a Ferrari before you could buy Enzo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you make that level of car, I guess you can decide to do whatever you want.
Yep, you already made your money.
Yeah.
What is that one?
No, that's one I took a picture of at Cars and Coffee.
That's that's a 355.
Yeah, that was
even older. So it's old. All right, let me scroll through.
Yeah, this from a couple years ago.
All right.
This was I want to say 2019.
Oh, a gray one.
Yeah. It had the gray wrap.
Pictures. It's got like a star on it. Yep.
Yeah, it was wrapped to look like it was navy themed.
I don't know, but I like this
All
lawnmower.
right, guys. I'm going to hop off. I'm going to go bother Terry.
All right.
Tyler.
Make him do some
right.
work.
I'll stop by.
Yeah.
That lawnmower
okay.
looks.
I'm going to stop by and punch you in the head.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
All right, we'll see you.
Safe.
Where? Terry's already left. Bye, Terry. Yeah, so Jared from CarFix.
Yeah,
I talked to him about he told me the same thing about Ferrari because he has at the time he had 2 Ferraris. I don't know how many he has now. And he said the same thing. He goes, if you want to buy a new Ferrari, you have to have previous Ferraris. And I was like,
yeah.
I want to buy this special one. You have to have all of them. I was like, no, forget that. It's ridiculous.
Guess I'm not buying a Ferrari anytime soon.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, that's why Jay Leno won't get a Ferrari, is because he's done interviews and he says he loves Ferraris. He likes the way they drive and everything, but he says all the mess with the dealership and all the hoops they make you jump through, it's not worth the headache, is what he says.
Yeah. So he doesn't have like a F40 or anything?
No. In fact, a lot of the videos where he's driving a Ferrari, it's that David Lee, a friend of his that's a Ferrari collector, and that David Lee has his own YouTube channel. David Lee's the one that had he had a Ferrari Dino, and I think it was done in England, I think is where they did it, but they took a Ferrari or it was either a Testarossa or an F40 engine, and they put it in the Dino. And it's all done up. It's all done up where he can take the original Dino motor and everything and swap it back. So it's done really, it's not a hack job where they just shove it in there. They have it all set up. It fits and everything, but they have it set up where you can return it to original stock. But that's that black Ferrari Dino. In fact, I think I saw that David Lee sold that Ferrari, but I'm not 100% sure on it. But there was a video that Jay Leno did that they did with that Ferrari, the Dino. But most of the videos where he's driving the Ferraris, it's David Lee's stuff.
Oh, interesting. So did Lewis freeze up, or is he? Oh no, okay. I thought you froze up, or you were staying really still so we can't see you.
I'm looking for a couple of pictures, but I can't find them. I got way too many pictures.
All right, so I sent this to Brian. This is a Tesla Model Y, but if you look inside, come on, focus. If you look at the car, it won't focus. Here, the front you can tell. It's not a Tesla. They put a Bentley in here.
Oh yeah.
There's a Bentley in there, and then I found the one that has the Tesla in it.
Yeah, it's an air package.
Yep. Woo-hoo. I got what, $7, Brian? All right.
Yeah. 7.
If they believe me that it's not glued.
Yeah. Well, that's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Because a lot of guys there's actually guys that will buy cars, open the packaging up, and do wheel swaps or put rubber wheels on the cars, and then seal them back up and return them back to the store. And then people, be digging through and they find this, like, why does this have rubber wheels, or why is this that, or the biggest thing. I mean that's probably a legit thing because they're white cars and they look the same, and they got some guy at the factories. Just some kid hasn't learned the difference in the cars yet, and just throwing white cars in packaging.
I'm guessing there's probably like white Teslas, and there was someone threw a Bentley by mistake and just.
So Brian, I had a question on the rubber wheels. Can you really tell the difference when you're looking through the package?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have. I have one that's open. I don't have one through the package, but
like it really sticks out.
Yeah, because normally the rubber wheels. I don't know if the things on focus in on it will have tread on them. The rubber wheels will have tread a lot of times, and the plastic wheels don't.
That's still hard to see in the package, though.
No. It stands out. It stands out too. It stands out.
If you have the other cars to compare it to, you're probably like, oh yeah.
I mean, but it just stands out. And usually, like, like I said, it stands out too fast. I mean, when my district manager came with me one day and we went, I said we got to run through. He saw me flipping through the packages, and he's like, "How in the world can you see?" And like I said, it just. And then when I showed him, he's like, "Oh yeah, it really does stand out." You
found one that day?
Yeah.
Huh. So I'm always looking. I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm looking at it right or not.
See, that's what I mean. And usually, like rubber. I mean, you can look at the paint. The paint's a Spectre frame. It's I took most of my stuff. Oh, here's like a Spectre flame paint. Now this does not have rubber wheels, but the paint. See, it's how the red is. It's kind of metallic-y.
Yeah.
A lot of those cars now, like this is this one actually is this is the vintage line car, and this one is they're calling it a chase, but this one is the old casting on the Camaro because it actually has an opening hood. They did away with that because they didn't want little kids to swallow the hood. Swallow the the hood break off or being swallowed. So a lot of the opening components, they don't make anymore.
My favorite was that they had that Grand National where the whole front came off.
Right, the Grand National, the front came off. This was a club piece,
buddy.
but this is the way that Grand National was. This is a Mustang.
And the kid just swallows it.
Yeah, the kid.
He just eats
off. They don't want it.
I put the Ferrari pics in the group chat, but I put one of the pictures on there. One of the pictures on there was the board, and it was the Lamborghini Gallardo. But that was the one that was down that I wanted. I wanted to drive both, and that was the one that was down. I didn't get to drive, but it was 430, I think, is what the board says. But yeah, it was a blast. It was cool. I wish it was paddle shift. I wish it was stick. But nowadays nobody can drive stick. I mean, a lot of us can.
They don't want you burning up the clutch on that thing.
Well, that too. Yeah.
Part of the burn up the clutch if it's paddle shifting.
Hey guys, I gotta jump ship. Gotta be an adult in the morning.
Someday you'll get over that.
Yeah, September.
September.
Highly overrated.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's highly unnecessary.
I hear you. All right, you guys have a great week. And look forward to seeing you next Thursday.
You got
You too.
All right, take care. Be safe.
Right. So Ray,
I'm gonna do the same.
Your cutters.
All right, Justin. See you later.
We'll see you guys.
Take care, Justin. Be safe.
Yeah, baby. There they are.
Your 11 inches of love cutting down.
Nice.
Oh, but it's orange. It needs to be teal. I thought we were getting teal ones.
No. Well, I had these on the truck, but these came today.
They wanted to match my car.
Today. These are your double.
Oh yeah.
Double index.
Now,
those are nice.
I'll tell you something. This freaking Jeep is costing me money.
Costing you money.
It costs you money.
Well, because I'm seeing the tools I need,
Oh, yeah.
So when I was working on it yesterday, I put the power steering reservoir back in, and I want to use Oetiker clamps on the hoses because that's what it had on it, and one of them's a pressure hose, and I have my straight Oetiker style CV joint, crimping pliers. But as I was doing the lower Oetiker clamp on the pressure line, the same one I had trouble cutting off, and I needed the long cutters. I couldn't position my tool in place to crimp the band.
Yeah, you need
and
a
I was
side
like,
one.
Wait a minute.
You need one that's all off to the side.
And I remembered when I was looking in the Bible on this page right here, there's a pair of Oetiker clamp pliers that they call them ear clamp pliers. And it says, and I quote, because it caught my eye, it said has an additional side jaw for easy clamping at a 90-degree angle when space is limited. And I said, son of a bitch, that's exactly what I need now.
Yeah.
And I don't see in this picture where that side jaw is. I don't know. But what I ended up doing was using the longest pair of diagonals I have, which I think is about an 8-inch pair. No. I used a pair of wire crimping, a wire crimping tool, and I got down in there with those because they were about 10-inch, and I was able to force that clamp closed. And I said, "Son of a bitch, how come everything on this Jeep is a tool I don't have?"
Yeah.
So those pliers, the picture doesn't look like they have a side jaw, but I thought maybe it was just a a picture they threw in there. I want to ask you how pronounced the side jaw might be.
It's I have to look and see. I might have a pair on the truck.
It's PEC 9.
PEC 9. Yeah, I'll have
Actually
to
the
look.
Knipex.
Yeah, those are big dollar ones.
Yeah, the
Those
Knipex.
are the ones that the ones that I might have. Lyle has a pair like for doing CV, like for doing the boot clamps on the CV joints.
Right.
You know, they're in the front, and then there's one that's off to the side.
Yeah.
And those are like $34 or something.
Yeah, if I had a 90 degree or a side, I could have got in there and grabbed it. But so I was just laughing because everything I'm doing on this thing, it's like all of a sudden I don't have any tools to work on this thing. It's like, I mean, I got it done obviously with what I have, but I had to go old school on it.
Yeah.
So speaking of the Jeeps, how familiar are you guys with these vehicles?
Nope.
In general.
What do you mean?
Well, it was kind of ironic. One of the things the guy had on his list was he wanted me to look at the seat tracks. He couldn't make the seats move front and back, and either, like he said, either free up the tracks or he says change the seats. Just put in new seats, and I'm okay with that. And it ends up the last thing I did, I wasn't there today. Last thing I did yesterday was I bent down and I'm looking at the seat tracks to see what's going on. I'm like, there are no seat tracks. There's a metal pedestal bolted to the floor, and there's aftermarket seats that are just bolted to the pedestal. There are no seat tracks.
Right.
There's a lever in the front, but I think that tilts the whole damn thing. So I was poking around on the internet looking, and I saw where there are some you can buy.
Summit, yeah.
You
Summit
can buy
sells
tracks.
Yeah.
Now the question is, this guy apparently is short, so because he's having an issue. So, but I'm thinking already, okay, to put a seat track between the seat and that pedestal is now going to raise the seat, and if he's short already, that's going to maybe make his leg harder to.
Right.
So I'm not really sure what to do. He did give us a link to a place in Connecticut. It's called, oh shit, what the hell was it called? It had kind of a strange name, but he says they have everything. And I looked at the guy's website, and he's like pretty much a Jeep junkyard.
Yeah.
And I sent him a message. He says, listen, I got everything you need. Just give me a call. So I'm going to do is tomorrow I'm going to go back down to the shop and really, I'm going to pull one of the seats off the pedestal and take some measurements. And so this way, when I talk to him, I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not, but I kind of
like
seats.
You said it has aftermarket seats.
Yeah, someone had changed the seats.
What I'm thinking is that the original seats had the track, and that's what connected to the pedestal.
Could be,
and they didn't swap it in.
Most likely the aftermarket seat was taller, and then probably made it too tall, because that's what happened. That's why, like on the Mustang, like all the Mustangs, they had that seat riser and on the floorboards. And a lot of tall guys will end up taking that seat riser out because they put the seat, because like I said, when I put the Thunderbird seats I was sitting too tall in the car. I couldn't put my seat tracks in it.
Right. So yeah, I'm kind of tossed on what to do, because if I put tracks between the seat and the pedestal, like I said, that's going to raise the seat, and that might not be good for his apparently stubby little legs.
Yeah.
I mean, I fit fine in it the way it is, even with no adjustment. And I'm not overly tall. I'm 5'9", 5'9" and a half. Yeah, I'm not super tall. I'm not tall at all, in fact. But so I fit fine. I drove the truck. Pedals were easy to use. I had no issues at all. So he must be like 5'5" or less. I don't know. I'm guessing. And that's the beauty. We talk about that all the time. Like, I rarely ever get to meet the people whose vehicle I work on. And I kind of like that, because they don't know who I am. but on the other hand, I never get to get that interaction going, and I got to go through somebody else. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, you said the guy you contacted is he's like a Jeep junkyard or something like that.
Yes.
So he's probably not only got everything, he's got, he'll have that knowledge because, maybe back in the 70s, they didn't have the track, 60s, 70s, but as new as that Jeep is, I can't imagine that it didn't come factory with some type of track. It just makes
yeah, I would agree. And like you said, whoever put the seats in probably omitted the tracks.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know
like Brian said, it might have been a height issue. The person could have been very tall. And
yeah, I don't know if that pedestal got changed or if that's original. That's what I don't know. I don't know really anything about the Jeep. So, that's what I don't know. So, I don't know. Like I said, I'll go take a look and take some measurements. I'll call this guy and see what he's got to say.
Because that's the same thing like on the Scout when we put in I really wish I kept those because they were jump seats that were in the Scout.
Uh-huh.
And Jenny used to get scared because A, it didn't have any seat belts, and
Right.
two, every once in a blue moon, if I hit a bump right, the passenger door would pop open as you're going down the road. So
Right.
she had gotten, and so somewhere along the line, somewhere along the line, she found somebody, and they said a Ford Ranger bench seat from the truck, from the pickup truck, would fit right in and bolt in to the Scout, and that's what she had got me one year. She had gotten me that because it came with the seat belts, but the bottom line was, the guy said it was the right height. And
Right.
it had it had the tracks and everything. I could slide the seats and everything, but it just bolted right in, and because I figured I'd just go to the junkyard and pull something from a S10 or whatever, any of those small pickup trucks. But for whatever reason, the Ford had the same height. So they probably.
The place is called Crush the Ogres.
Crushed
The
you.
Ogres.
God.
What?
Speaking of Scouts,
and yeah,
this was at that Cars and Coffee. I thought of you, Brian.
Yep.
And then you got to check out this Ford truck.
Although that's a good one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's old.
All right, I'm gonna end the live stream here so we can. Cause we're a little later tonight than normal.
And there you go on a Jeep.
It's got a glare. Turn it a little more.
Other way.
Other way.
Still has a glare.
It still has a glare. It's a weird glare.
Picture is glary.
It's a camera too. I've got